So the other day, I was hooping with the friends and the gals, There's a little group chat that we have, and we always text when we ready to hoop, when is the perfect time, things like that. Try to bring each other together, have some fun. And it was great runs, it was good. But I went home with no wins on the table. Went home defeated, and I made a little short about it, and I posted how it was on TikTok, but I want to come on here and really expand on that in a long form way because, that day I was just so mad. I was beating myself up. I was literally isolating myself, not really talking to nobody. Like, obviously, when people walked up to me after the runs, I was like, yeah, I'll catch you later. I dap people up. If people acknowledge me or people asked if I was good, I was like, yeah, I'm cool, just a little upset at myself. And then, it's just all love at the end of the day because when it comes to sports, there's going to be that competitive nature that we all have. Nobody wants to go home not winning nothing, especially in sports. But with that being said, there's always two outcomes. You either win or you lose. Especially in basketball, there's no draw in basketball like it is in football. But even then, nobody wants to go home with a tie on the record board. You feel me? Like, you want to win. That's the ultimate end goal, is to win. And that didn't happen for me that day. And when I went home and I was driving home and I felt like such a loser at the time, I was just so emotional, and, that night, I really was just like trying to keep myself composed and all that stuff, right? And then the next day came. And, I woke up that day, and mind you, that day, there was little spring workouts that, the school women's basketball team have. And, I didn't want to bring that negative energy into the arena, into the Coliseum when workouts happen. And, I was just like, said, just because you didn't win that day, don't mean you're a loser for life. Like, doesn't mean that, you lost all your games that day. That means you just suck at the sport of basketball, or people going to start looking at you like you just some loser, some lame. You can't win no games. Like, there's going to be days where you have your good days. There's going to be days where you have your bad days. And that's just the way of life. And when I got into the workouts, well, not into the workouts, into the gym, and I came early. So, I was sitting on the bleachers, and at that time, volleyball practice was going on. So I was just watching the girls play volleyball, just kicking it, chilling. And, my homeboy, he walked in the building, walked in the arena, went on the court, dapped me up because I was just shooting around after the volleyball practice was done. I was shooting around for a little bit, warming up and, getting my body, vitalized, blood flowing, stretching the legs, trying to get the body warmed up so we can get into the workouts with the team. And, my homeboy, he was like, he didn't expect me to come to the workout. And I'm like, man, I'm going to push up to the workouts, man, because I'm not about to let one bad day determine a couple of days going forward of how I'm moving and how my energy is. And, and not to mention, I don't want to bring that negative energy towards other people, because at the end of the day, bro, it's just sports. It's just basketball. It's just, life is bigger than that. You feel me? And that's one thing that I have to start realizing when it comes to playing these sports that I love. Like, no matter if I win, no matter if I lose, it's just sports, bro. Like, it's just basketball. You feel me? And even if I want to get into like saying, okay, it's not just basketball. Some people, when it comes to sports, it's all they have. So obviously, my take on it is different from others. My coach, not my coach, but the assistant coach for the school, she always talk about having a goldfish mindset. And this could apply to anything in life. It don't got to apply to basketball, but the topic at hand is basketball. And when it comes to things not going your way, say you doing a drill or you just on the court, you the type of person that loves shooting threes and you known for it, and you always believe that every shot you throw up or every shot that you think about taking and you take it is supposed to go in. Like, obviously, that's the type of mindset you want to have. You want to think every shot you throw up is something that goes in because you work on that shot 1,000 times over. The same with handles. Like, you want to do moves and you want to have counters on counters and you work on them counters every single day. You work on ball handling drills every single day. And when you lose the ball, you get ripped. You probably drop your head, or your shoulders probably slouched, and you probably, you could tell when your energy is different. And my coach, I keep saying my coach, but it's kind of my coach because that's what it feels like for real. But the coach always say, just have a goldfish mindset. When you mess up or something bad happens, like, just on to the next play. When a bad day has happened, you didn't have your best performance that day, just forget about it. Because, tomorrow will come. And yesterday, when that tomorrow happens, and now you in the present, yesterday don't matter no more. So I shouldn't beat myself up about bad performances that I have on the basketball court. You feel me? Because at the end of the day, if you trust yourself in the work that you put in, then, that bad day, it won't mean nothing. If anything, you could just learn from it. Like, you're not a loser for not winning the game that day. You just living, you learning. You feel me? Everybody in life is learning. You feel me? So it's not something to beat myself up about because of that one bad day that I had. You feel me? And the thing is that you don't want to project your energy on others because of something you got going on eternally. Now, it's different if, you going through something and you trying to tell people about it and people trying to make it seem like you crazy, and, all of a sudden now you feel like you can't trust nobody. That's different. But majority of the time, people are not thinking that just because you lost that day means you just ass. Like, yeah, it might be trash talk, obviously, because, if you friends with people on the court and y'all close, obviously trash talk gets involved, and, you want to keep the trash talk within limits. You don't want to call nobody out their name. People like flying the B word out and HAN, all that type of stuff, right? The BANs. But if you got real folks out here that, they understand that, okay, Said just had a bad day, or, it's just one of those days where he didn't, win a game. Or if you on the court with your teammates and you feel like it's your fault that y'all losing, you pout your head and shoulders is slouched and you're not speaking as loud. There's going to be people around you say, nah, bro, you good, bro. Don't even trip on it, bro. Like, don't worry about it being your fault. Because at the end of the day, basketball is a 5-on-5 game. Yeah, there's 1-on-1s and 2-on-2s and 3-on-3s, but majority of the people that play basketball love playing 5-on-5. And, it's a team sport at the end of the day. And only thing you can really do at that point is just learn from the losses that you took. You feel me? And that's just what it is, bro. It's just a bad day. It's not a bad life. So the next day, I hoop with the people in the group chat or whatever the case may be. Maybe I perform better. You feel me? Maybe I win all my games. Maybe I win 6 out of the 8 games. Maybe I win 4 out of the 5 games. Who knows? You feel me? We got to just start realizing that, I got to start realizing that I can only control what I can control. Like I said earlier in the video, people put up hundreds of shots a day. So when you shoot that 3 or you shoot that mid-range and everything feels the same, you still shooting it the same, but it's not going in. Only thing you can do is just control how you operate the next time around. You feel me? If you shoot it the same way and it's not going in, or it's rimming out, or it's toilet bowling, I can't control that. Only thing I can control is the moves I make and the shot and the same routine of me shooting the ball. That's the only thing I can control. If it don't go in, goldfish mindset. If it goes in, goldfish mindset. Got to do it again. But I love each and every one of y'all. Y'all take care of yourselves. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.